More than ever, companies and investors are under pressure to manage and demonstrate positive social impact, to show that they do more than just comply with regulations or tick boxes when it comes to corporate responsibility, and create actions that matter to people and their communities at home and abroad. The UN Business and Human Security Initiative at LSE Ideas works with business across the world, using a people-centered, comprehensive and bottom-up approach to meet the Sustainable Development Goals, human rights and ESG targets. We asked companies to tell us what they're doing, how they put responsibility into practice and create actions that matter to people's lives.
So I'm Abby Gooch and I'm EY's Global Corporate Responsibility Strategy Activation Leader.
Abby, thank you so much for talking to us today. Can we start asking you, what is EY's social impact strategy? How do you understand social impact?
I think for us, so EY is a member of the UN Global Compact. So with that, social impact is really about advancing progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. And I'd say that we do that around three core principles, really. So first is around how can we enable EY people to really leverage their skills and experience for social impact in a way that's authentic to our business. How can we enable them to be inclusive leaders, so to better understand the social value of their skills? And then thirdly, how do we collaborate for impact? So how can we work with our clients and other social impact organizations to scale our impact? And we centre that around a global corporate responsibility programme called EY Ripples, which seeks to positively impact 1 billion lives by 2030. It has three main areas of focus. So the first is around supporting the next generation. That's really about how can we support young and underserved groups to prepare them for the future of work. The second is around working with impact entrepreneurs. So how can we enable small entrepreneurial businesses to overcome barriers to growth and advance progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals? And thirdly, accelerating environmental sustainability. So how can we enable EY people to participate in projects that protect or regenerate the environment? And we do this around a sort of suite of what we call offerings or projects. So we have a number of global projects, but also a whole load of local projects as well that EY people can participate in to have a positive impact.
You mentioned the SDGs. What other kind of frameworks and standards are important to you, do you think, in social impact terms?
So all of our projects are measured by a lives impacted methodology that is supported by a series of kind of theories of change, and those theories of change really are guided by the DCED framework.
And what do you think are the main challenges for any organisation like yours trying to headline and promote social impact as a value inside the enterprise?
I think for me there are probably three main challenges. I think the first is around how do we do more with less. I think the younger generations at EY are increasingly socially minded, rightly so, but have very big expectations of us in terms of what we can do, but yet our budgets are limited, so, or not unlimited, I would say. And with that, we have to really challenge ourselves around how we can be innovative and have greater social impact. The second is that we're a huge organisation, 400,000 people, and a very federated structure. So how can we really align those 400,000 people around a truly global strategy? That's been a challenge for us. And then I think also this dynamic of depth of impact versus reach. You know, we have a very bold ambition to positively impact 1 billion lives, but we want to do that in a thoughtful and credible way. So we try to overcome that by having a real balance of projects or offerings, some perhaps that are lighter touch, but then others that are much more immersive and have a greater depth of impact.
I know you're on the ground in many different places. How does that global policy and strategy that you've described align with local priorities, local operations, that global-local divide? How do you manage that?
Yeah, it's hard. And I think when we launched the programme 5 years ago, we had a big global strategy and we spent a lot of time in those first few months working with our local teams to consult and to see kind of which parts of our global strategy resonated with them and which perhaps didn't. And it's fair to say it's been a real journey. And I think, you know, there are some parts of our business that completely align with our global strategy and others that perhaps pick the bits that just work better for them at a local level. But for us, it's really around how can we as a global organization, a global team, empower those local teams to deliver initiatives that work for them, whether that's because of a particular social need in their market or perhaps a kind of cultural way that people like to volunteer. You know, not everyone likes to volunteer their time in the same way globally. So we have to be mindful of that and kind of be flexible, I think, in our approach. And I think just consult is the biggest word for me, just ensuring that we're always working with those local stakeholders, both internally but externally as well, to understand what's needed and what impact looks and feels like to them.
And have you got a particular example that you're proud of a project, an engagement that you're doing at the moment or have done?
Oh, that's a great question. I think my proudest one would probably be Technovation. So Technovation is an incredible global education nonprofit with a focus on gender, and we're working with them at the moment to upskill young women and girls around AI. So for us, AI is a huge focus at the moment. We've got a huge portfolio of work around AI, and it's a really exciting initiative, lots of client collaboration as part of it. So it's sort of ticking a lot of boxes internally and externally, of course.
Thank you very much, Abby.
Thank you.